Come with me on a whistle-stop tour around Edinburgh city centre. It's late August, so the festival in Fringe is still on. So we've got all of these billboards advertising the various shows around the city. But the first stop for me on this trip was to go and see Greyfriars Bobby, the faithful Skye Terrier who sat beside his owner's grave after his death for 14 years. Now he's buried there too, and people leave sticks for him, which is quite a fun thing to do. If we go inside the church, we can also see some more pictures of Greyfriars Bobby as he was in life. And then also, Greyfriars Kirk is where the National Covenant of Scotland was drafted. So this is a copy on the wall. It's one of Scotland's most important documents. After that, we come down into the Grassmarket area, which is where executions happened. This is where the gallows were, that outline on the ground. And one of the most famous people that got hung was Maggie Dixon, who has a pub named after her. She was hung, but then woke up in the coffin, and so became known as Half Hangit Maggie. And she lived for another 40 years after being hung. Going up Victoria Street, this is also another famous street because of its colours. And as we head back up into the Royal Mile, we can see some performers because, of course, it was the festival, so lots of people out in the street doing tricks and shows. Into St Giles Cathedral, this is always somewhere that I want to go. I like to stop in past here. That's the heart of Midlothian, which is where the toll booth used to happen, executions again. But going into St Giles Cathedral, I love it in here. I always stop in here. The Thistle Chapel is also open. It's not always open, so it was good to be able to pop in there and see the architecture and just the lovely designs. John Knox also preached here. Coming out, Adam Smith, the father of economics, stands just outside St Giles. And then as we walk down the Royal Mile into Princess Street, I stopped off for a little thing. That's the Walter Scott Monument. And then I went into the new St James Quarters Mall. In fact, it's not that new anymore. There's Princess Street. You've got to see Pipers also when you're in Edinburgh. Stopped off at Princess Street Gardens, but it started to rain at that point, so I decided to pop into the National Gallery and walk around, see some Raphaels and see some Monets as well, and Vincent van Goghs as well, which is this one right here. Popped out again, had to see the castle. I've always got to stop and see the castle. It almost feels like the nation's front door, and it's somewhere that you just got to stop off at whenever you're in Edinburgh. Go and see William Wallace and Robert the Bruce, the Guardians of Scotland. There they are standing either side of the door. And then after the castle, I decided to head back out. That was the stadium up because the tattoo is going on right now. Again, more Pipers. The Writers' Museum. The new Edinburgh Gin Terrace was just there. Decided to stop off in the National Museum as well. Wandered around there for a little bit. Saw a giraffe, saw a T-Rex and things like that. It's a lovely atrium in there. And then I headed home, passing this lot, playing their music, and then back through the meadows. It was a lovely day. Hope you enjoyed that.